Mr. Taneja, I want to question the Congress party also, which is why I'm raising the point about gas pricing. Apart from the allegations that Arvind Kejriwal has made, which might be political in nature, partly political in nature, or whatever else the motivation might be, I want to ask the Congress party, and we have Sanjay Jha, Murli Deora, Virappa Moily, Kejriwal has ordered FIRs to be registered against two of your prominent union ministers. He's making allegations, as we are saying on and on, about how gas prices are being fixed and how Reliance may be benefiting, which is why there was collusion. Now, there are questions that Mr. Taneja has also raised about gas pricing and how it is perhaps dubious in the manner in which it has come about and why certain considerations should have been made. Mr. Sanjay Jha, hasn't the UPA brought upon this embarrassment of a chief minister going on record and registering or ordering FIRs to be registered against your ministers and somebody who's being supported by you?
Well, you know, Mr. Kejriwal and the AAP party's policy, you're fully aware of it. Maruk has always been shoot and scoot, even if you don't have any sabut. And that's their standard policy. As somebody rightly mentioned in the panel before, it's very easy to make allegations, destroy reputations, but if you don't have evidence, it's clearly nothing but political targeting. Having said that, there is a point that I think both the gentlemen earlier made in the program. You see, the issue of gas pricing, Maruk, is a lot more complex than it's made out to be. You know, for a considerable period of time, the matter was being heard in the Supreme Court because of their family dispute between the Ambani brothers, because they had their own pact in terms of how Anil Ambani's companies would draw gas at a certain price from Mukesh Ambani's company. Now, the issue, as somebody rightly mentioned, we can't get very technical on your program today, but, you know, the Rangarajan committee, it's a very eminent committee, came up with its own formula. Now, there are views and disputes. The matter as we talk today is in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is hearing a public interest litigation because there have been arguments said that is this price moving from $4 to $8, is it going to be too high? But you know, there are arguments on both sides again. Don't forget that the government, one of our previous ministers, Mr. Jaipal Reddy, imposed a very, very heavy fine on Reliance. Now, the issue here is that the government feels that Reliance hasn't stuck to its supply commitments. Reliance has its own argument that, you know, it needs, it invests a lot of capital on the gas exploration in the Krishna Godavari region, and to expect them to reach a certain production target has been difficult for them. Now, these are arguments. There are, you know, eminent people in our finance ministry, in our oil and petroleum ministry. Reliance is a big private corporate player. Let whatever happens in terms of gas pricing is happening in a very transparent forum. Let me tell you, there are analysts, there are shareholders, there are, you know, funders, there are financial institutions, and I'll add one point. There are the largest public sector units like the ONGC, Oil India, and big, you know, fertilizer and power companies, even from the public sector and
Mr.
private
Jha,
sector.
I want while gas pricing and all is extremely, as you said, complicated, even for a lot of our viewers to comprehend it in a debate, including myself. What I do need to ask you is that there are complaints being made, very genuine complaints that have been made by a prominent list of panelists, which I have already named. Are you, apart from the politics that you're seeming to suggest that Arvind Kejriwal is playing, there has to be some basis to the argument that is put forward. Are you trying to suggest that your former Navy chief, eminent lawyers like Kamini Jaiswal, a former expenditure secretary, TSR Subramaniam, who has been a cabinet secretary, all of them seem to be towing the Aam Aadmi Party line? Is that what you're trying to suggest?
No, all I'm trying to tell you is that it is very easy to try and draw a line of a quid pro quo. But if you're saying that a policy is being made to favor a particular corporate, then I think one needs to understand as to what does the ministry gain by it. If there are allegations that individuals are gaining by it, then I can tell you it's very easy to say that, because, you know, there is always somebody benefits from some scheme of the government. But to assume that it is necessarily a quid pro quo, I think it's been extremely unfair if you don't have evidence to back it.
Okay, we have Preeti Menon from the Aam Aadmi Party. She's joining us on the phone line because unfortunately, because of the traffic trouble in Mumbai, we weren't able to go across to her. Ms. Menon, a lot of questions are being raised about Arvind Kejriwal making these statements. The statements made, the allegations made by your chief minister and leader are being seen as weak on facts, Ms. Menon.
I don't see where the weakness on facts is. Reliance is a company which has a lot of capabilities in working out how it is going to deliver goods. I'm sure they must be knowing how to do it. They make a commitment that for 17 years or so, they are going to deliver goods at $2.34. And then hastily they changed it to $4. And now they want it to $14. So a company that has calculated what it's going to do over the next 17 years and signed a 17-year contract does not have the capability to figure out what the gas pricing should be. And two ministers are made to go when they refuse to, agree to their demands. Don't you see a corruption here? The whole country sees it. And it's something so obvious that I don't even know why we are getting into so many technicalities.
First, I want to get in an expert here, Narendra Taneja, who's going to question you basically on the facts that have been presented by Arvind Kejriwal. Mr. Taneja, go ahead.
Yeah, there are 2 points. First of all, the biggest producer of gas in the country is not Reliance, it's Government of India company, ONGC and Oil India, and then there are some other operator such as Cairn in Rava, such as Panna Mukta Tapti in Bombay offshore. Is not Reliance. The biggest beneficiary when they do increase the price from the 1st of April is going to be the Government of India entities, not any private player, including Reliance. So I think that's very important. Second thing is, you see, the reason the government agreed to increase the price was very one, because they wanted to incentivize oil and gas exploration within the country, because internationally gas prices are different, and the investors and the companies that have the technology to explore in deep water, because all majority of our oil reserves, gas reserves are in deep water. And Indian companies, including ONGC and Reliance, they don't have technology, they don't have expertise, so they have to bring in foreign companies to do that. So idea was basically to incentivize to pay international prices.
Okay,
so that
okay. Let her answer that first. Preeti Menon, the question is being asked on two levels. One, the fact that it is weak on facts. Secondly, it is not Reliance that is going to benefit from it. It is ONGC that will benefit more because it's the biggest in terms of oil and gas exploration. Your response?
See, the question here is, who is the one lobbying for the price increase? The question here is, who is getting these price increases affected? There are complaints made by very eminent people who you just spoke about on your channel. They have come forward and they have made an actual complaint. They filed it, saying that there is definitely some kind of collusion in increasing these prices.
But your statement seems to be very poor on facts. Is the allegation, or rather the stand that is being taken by several, that while it seems to be very convenient for the Aam Aadmi Party to come out, and Arvind Kejriwal, before he started the press conference, said, I have some explosive allegations to make. He's pretty much reiterated what he said in the past, one. Secondly, he has no jurisdiction to talk about gas pricing, which we can perhaps leave on the side because he wants to make a point, and as a chief minister, he has every right to do so. But it largely seems to be more of political rhetoric and making wild allegations. There is another point that you have raised about NECO still providing gas to Bangladesh at US $2.34 per unit, which is again unsubstantiated and weak on facts, Preeti Menon.
Ignorance.
Okay, we are very ignorant, but we do understand that gas prices affect our lives. We do understand that this increase in gas prices is going to increase the cost of electricity, the cost of fertilizers, and of course, it is going to affect the basic consumers. The whole question here is, who is benefiting from it, who is lobbying for it? There's an obvious case of collusion between capitalists and the politicians who support them. What is the harm in filing this FIR? This is what the anti-corruption department is supposed to do. This is their job. They are supposed to find out if there are any officials colluding and favoring individuals and taking kickbacks. So what's the harm in doing that inquiry? I don't know why everyone is running scared. We do seem to have set a cat on the pigeon.
It is not about running scared, Preeti Sharma, but also about the fact that there can't be allegations that are levied without backing it with facts. That's the first point that is being made. Secondly, RIL has just issued a statement and they are saying that as far as they are concerned, they're going to initiate legal proceedings against Arvind Kejriwal.
Undoubtedly, they would react. It's not that we did not expect a backlash. You threaten Ambani in any which manner, you are going to get a backlash for it. But in this case, he can't make the whole thing go away because there is proof, there is data which has been submitted with the complaint. It's been submitted by us. And if Anti-Corruption Bureau sees merit in the investigation, then it will be progressed.
But
So while everyone-
doesn't it seem like a daily activity from the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal? Come, hold a press conference, make a series
No,
of statements,
that's what we
and then
should do.
half of them might be substantiated, and the other half you're going to have the entire anti-corruption bureau come out and investigate them first, and then you will say, oh, a claim that we had made is now substantiated. Seems like a very roundabout way of doing it, doesn't it?
Unless we provide adequate prima facie data, which we have done.
Okay,
There is, of
I
course,
want to
be
get a
required to
final
be an
word from
inquiry.
Rajiv Kumar. I want to get a final word from Rajiv Kumar. Mr. Kumar, two things, apart from the point that you want to make. Also, does this whole manner, in a way of how Arvind Kejriwal has been making these comments, do you think it sends a signal out to industrialists of him, you know, almost carrying out a witch hunt?
Absolutely right. And you know, none of us are going to ever condone crony capitalism. And if four eminent people have made a complaint, yes, it should be looked into. But there is a time and place for everything. At the moment the economy is down, the investment sentiment is worst possible in the probably last decade. There is a situation where the foreign investor and the domestic investor is leaving the Indian economy, and then you go around making wild charges without any facts or evidence against it. This is completely anti-national actually. It is anti-national, and Mr. Kejriwal is smacks of opportunism of the worst order. Look, I have no brief for RIL or for Mr. Murali Deora or Mr. Moily or anybody for that matter.
Right.
But I am speaking as an economist who is interested in improving the macroeconomic condition in the country today, because otherwise we will have a very high cost to pay in this country. And Mr. Arvind Kejriwal should recognize this. He should let the economy settle down. There is enough time in the future to bring these charges and do whatever you like. But the manner in which is being done, the complete lack of consideration for the national situation, for the economic condition of the country, and to charge private
Okay, I'm running out of time, Mr. Kumar.
Throwing them in the same brush.
I'm afraid I'm running out of time, but the question that the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal is going to raise is that there is no time that is more specific than now when you need to undo a wrong. While India Inc. says that perhaps the economy should first be in a better position and then look at these charges at length, Arvind Kejriwal on the other hand says that the time is now. Nevertheless, for all the gentlemen for joining me, Preeti Menon from Mumbai, and to Mr. Rajiv Kumar, Narendra Taneja and Sanjay Jha. Thank you so much for joining me on Newsnight this evening.